tell I love that shot when I come in the garage like that. So I made a garage tour video and like 3 people were pretty stoked on it, and that's the kind of thing that I like to talk about. I love show and tell. So in today's video I want to go over some of the more specific tools, what I like, what I don't like, and we'll go through that. Let's first talk about the DeWalt battery power tools. Now I think any of your families like Milwaukee, Makita, DeWalt, Bosch, they all make a good battery. Buy all the same, but I choose DeWalt. And I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, you know, if one of your brands wasn't listed there. But I just think the more budget brands maybe don't last as long, and if you're using your stuff a lot, you want to buy good stuff. One of my favorite tools, one that I use the most, one that I would not change, I would buy it again. I had one for 6 years before this, the DeWalt brushless drill. Now, somebody gave me this drill. This is a brushed drill. They are not as good. I wouldn't get a brushed, but I do use it to clean my toilets with. Another really good tool from DeWalt is the impact. Taking off car tires, doing any kind of light duty impacting. This is really convenient. For hardcore impacting, I have an air impact, and that does a little bit better than this. It has more torque, but I rarely need to torque something that high. The DeWalt battery power grinder is great. It doesn't last super long, the battery I mean, like if you're doing buff jobs or like cleaning up stuff, this is great. But if you're doing some serious cutting, corded, this thing does great too. DeWalt leaf blower, this thing's awesome. Great blow power, wouldn't replace it. This thing's sweet. The weed eater, it's good enough. I'm not going to replace it. I'm satisfied with it. It has some little quirks, but it does good overall. The last piece of DeWalt equipment I have is a shop vac. It gets the job done. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't want a better one though, because I do. I want a wall-mounted, like, good shop vac, but this, you know, gets the job done. Next we'll go over the corded hand tools. Starting with staple gun. I'd probably just get a mechanical one if I did it all over again, but works fine. Sander, Craftsman. It does the job. I want to get an oscillating sander, but like I said, it does the job. I have another sander that I'll show you later. Craftsman circle saw. I don't use circle saw a whole bunch, so Craftsman gets it done. Not the nicest, but I don't need a great circle saw. Again, Craftsman power planer. When it comes to Craftsman corded tools, I find that, you know, they get the job done. This came in handy with the surfboard project. You could power plane a little bit at a time. This thing also cut the out of my finger. Bosch jigsaw. I really like the Bosch name. I don't have a lot of Bosch tools. I don't use jigsaw all that much, so it doesn't see a lot. Use a bandsaw a lot more. And last, the Works oscillating tool. My joke about Works is it works, and it does. This is great for shimming under a door. Like, you put it on the ground, come right in there, and you can like trim off little bits. This thing is great for getting in little crevices. Really recommend getting an oscillating tool. All right, let's hit the speed round. Stanley Fat Max tape measure, love it. They're fat, easy to read, very durable, like those. DeWalt stud finder, biggest piece of junk I ever bought. Don't buy one. Zircon stud finder, it's okay. Milwaukee battery ratchet, good for anything ratchet that needs power. This thing's awesome. Vapor heat gun, I bought this at a store, it was $22, but it heats up stuff. This hammer's been with me through thick and thin. I think it's a Cobalt. I would like to get one of those really nice fancy framing hammers, but the hammer. Japanese pole saw, use it sometimes. You gotta appreciate a good dead blow. I got this one at O'Reilly. The head is filled with sand, so it just has a good thud on it. This thing is, I like this thing. Cobalt box knife. It's good. I got these fabric scissors in an estate sale. Cleaned them up. They're like pretty sweet. They cut really good. Love these. Alright, 3 more things in the uncategories around. This is my first wood burner. I really liked learning with this because when I moved up to this one, I really understood how to wood burn. This thing is cool. It heats up really quick. It burns super hot. It's so easy to wood burn, like anything you want. Love wood burning. I wood burn everything. Everything that I make, I put a little like note or whatever it's also. The last thing in the uncategorized thing, good old solid vise. Super useful. Now let's go over corded stationary bigger power tools. This is the Metabo miter saw. I don't think I would change this. This is the perfect miter saw. It's not the most expensive, like your DeWalt is more expensive, but I don't think you get much more out of it. The level on it is really nice, and the way that you articulate it is really easy. Here's my other Hitachi product, my little air compressor. This thing does all right. Build up a good amount of pressure. I wish I had more capacity. Eventually I want to get one of those bigger roll around air compressors. And this thing's kind of heavy. I built this little dolly for it, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to get it around everywhere, to be honest. So I want a bigger one, good wheels on it. Alright, the bandsaw. On the list for one of my favorite tools. Again, I love using the bandsaw. It's the best way to get curved cuts. It's basically all the goodness of a jigsaw with extreme accuracy. Now, this bandsaw I actually had listed for sale, and somehow or another, the Craftsman bandsaw guru came to my house, and he was interested in buying it, but he wasn't that interested because he noticed a couple flaws. I fixed those flaws he was talking about, and this thing cuts great now, and I love it again. Another Hitachi product. I got this and I had it for like a year as a Christmas gift, and I never used it. And one day I busted it out. I use this thing constantly now. I don't know how I went without a rod nailer for so long. Great tool. Alright, this is the Lincoln 125 MIG welder. I like it. I've had worse, and I know there is better out there. I usually only weld on this thing on the lowest setting at the slowest speed. Unless I'm welding on the... I'm usually never welding on anything heavy. I want to get a nice TIG welder. I want to learn how to TIG weld. I'm in welding school right now. But, yeah, that's okay. This is my central machinery lathe. It's on Facebook Marketplace right now. You can get the table and everything. I don't want it. I suck at it. This is the Slice and Dice 9000. It's my router table. I really love routing everything I get my hands on. This is a really sketchy router table. One, because I broke the trigger mechanism. So to make it work, you have to plug it in. Eventually I'll get a better one. But I love using router table. Harbor Freight stand-up sander, game changer, love it. Would definitely upgrade it because, you know, Harbor Freight. But one of my most used tools. I call it the Bob Ross machine because when you have those happy little accidents, this baby cleans them right up. This is an old Skill drill press. I use it quite often. I like it. I want to get a stand-up drill press so I can have more room to articulate. I bought this and the bandsaw in the same deal actually. But I like it. Okay, a few honorable mention tools. This is a DeWalt chop saw. I blew up the blade one time. It scares me. I'd rather use a grinder. This is a buffing wheel. I use it sometimes. Not really that much. This is my DeWalt table saw. I got it at an estate sale recently. I need to build a table for it something for it to sit on and live on. I have gotten by for so long without a table saw. I just don't use it that much yet, but I'm sure once I give it a home, I'll use it a whole bunch more. Ooh, great honorable mention. Fiskars shovel, they're all metal. The best shovel ever. If you do a lot of shoveling, you probably don't. All right, well that wraps it up. I know some of you are stoked on this video. I am, I love show and tell. And some of you are like, okay, whatever. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, I guess. I don't know. Bye.